We are. Oh, you didn't mess me all up. Are we live? Are
Yeah,
we
we're
live? How
live,
many
live,
people? All
live.
right. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. The Bucks win it tonight, 99-85 over the Toronto Raptors. Game one of the NBA Cup. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all the scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live at the Cream City crossover. The Guru Trey Crosby the third.
T.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah, we all in the building, man. Good stuff. Bucks win tonight, 99-85. They don't break 100, but they do get the dub. Get at me at Twitter at TCIIESQ on the YouTube in the chat. Let's talk about this thing. But first, we'll do it like we always do. Get into a game recap tonight on a 14-point victory for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks notched their third win of the season. Absolutely needed. Again, we talked about it. Big as a must-win as you could have at this point during the year. Giannis goes 23, 7, and 4. 9 of 12 from the field. So a really good night for him. 4 blocks as well from Giannis. Taurean Prince, 9.7 boards. Brook Lopez, 13.7 rebounds. And again, as you go through this, you'll start to see the shot attempts equal the amount of points scored. So Brook Lopez, 13 points, 14 shots. AJ Green, 12 points, 14 shots. Ryan Rollins, 12 points, 12 shots. He went out with an injury in the third quarter. Bobby Portis, 17 points. How many shots he shoot? 17 points, 17 shots. Gary Trent Jr., I don't know if something happened to him. He only played 5 minutes tonight. Don't have the back tightened up again on him. DeLon Wright, though, he had 2 points on 5 shot attempts tonight, but he had 5 steals. I thought it was all over the place, actually, defensively. So it was not a bad night. Didn't shoot the ball well, but I did think he was all over the place. And then, of course, Pat Connaughton, 6 points, 7 shot attempts. Andre Jackson Jr., another guy all over the place, 2 points, 2 shots. So, again, the only person efficient on the night was Giannis. You look and see what happened out with the Toronto Raptors. They were as garbage gets. That's a terrible basketball organization right now. RJ Barrett, 7 points, 7 boards. He took 3 of 14 from the field. Jakob Poeltl, 13 points, 8 rebounds. He took 14 shots. No, excuse me on that. Poeltl, 13 points, 13 shots. How about your boy who lit it up tonight, Grady Dick? 32 points tonight from the Dick. That's his name. That is his name.
Right, that might be his name, but the way you said it and the way you went about it was Paul's word.
That's your boy. That's your boy, Grady Dick. Gave you
the emphasis in there in the faces you made while you saying that. Hey, yo.
Mr. Dick put up 32 points tonight. Had a big time game. But he was the only person who's really had it going for the Toronto Raptors. I thought Davion Mitchell, 8 assists, did a really good job defending it as well. And then Fernando, so he had a big dunk over Giannis. And then Chris Boucher, 12 points as well. But again, with Bucks win at 99-85. What did I see tonight, fellas? I'll tell you. I know we have a topic, so I won't get into it yet, but it's about where you're impressed with the victory. So I'll stay away from that for the moment and just go about what I saw in the game. I thought Giannis was impressive. I thought Toronto had a game plan, obviously, that was fixated around stopping Giannis. And I thought Giannis did what a good player does in that moment. He played 33 minutes. He didn't force it, and I think he had a lot of opportunities to force it. I think when you look at what was happening around him with all the misses. Again, Giannis ends up with 7 assists. If you go back and look at the potential assists, he probably had to have about 20. And there were just so many misses. I mean, AJ Green, we talked about before the show started, Justin. AJ Green, he's 4 for 14, all threes. He missed 10 threes. I mean, maybe 2 of them weren't good shots. The rest of them were either open or semi-open, or for a shooter of AJ Green's caliber, I mean, those were good shots. He just missed them. So you had that going. You had Ryan Rollins, another guy who took 7 threes tonight, and he hit 4 of those. Brook Lopez took threes all over the place. So you saw Toronto try to wall off Giannis, not let him shoot the ball, not let him get to the basket. And Giannis did what a good player does in that moment: distribute. His guys didn't help him out, but I saw the only other thing I'll get to before I let you go with this, JT, is the Bucks look so much better in transition. And to get in transition, you have to get defensive stops. And so if you're not getting defensive stops and you're taking the ball out of the basket, you're not able to run. And that's one of the things that the Bucks are gonna have to figure out a way to do. And to me, if you're watching the film, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you go into your huddle or you go into the team meeting and watch these games, you have to realize that you look so much better when you're out in transition and when you're running. And when you're not, when you're playing half court offense, I'll tell you, I don't know what the hell the offense is. Like, it's a lot of dribble handoffs. I don't. The Milwaukee Bucks half court offense looks like it's running in the Stone Ages. I don't know what the hell Doc has cooked up. It is a. I mean, again, I don't know how the metrics on this. We should probably look into it. It has to be one of the worst half court offenses in the NBA. They just don't look good. It is a very bad looking half court offense. And so again, when you get out in transition, when you can run, but again, to be able to run and get out in transition, you have to get stops, you have to get blocks, you have to get steals, you have to allow the opposing team to take one shot and you're rebounded down the floor. Again, if you catch it out of the basket and you got to inbound it, that's when the Bucks don't look good, especially when you have and again, Ryan Rollins, I thought he played an excellent game tonight. And again, hopefully he's not. I mean, I know he went out in the third quarter. Hopefully he's not injured for too long. But my own thing on Rollins, you got to be able to bring the ball up the floor. Davey, I mentioned pressured him all night, and the Bucks couldn't get it. You can't get into your set till it's 15 on the clock. It reminded me a lot of the NBA Finals in 2021, where the Phoenix. One of the biggest problems for the Suns was the fact that Jrue Holiday was pressuring Chris Paul so much he couldn't get the ball up the floor. And Chris Paul is backing up the entire. I mean, watch the series. Chris Paul is literally backing up the floor. Phoenix can't get into the offense till there's 15 seconds on the clock. And so that's a problem for Ryan Rollins. But outside of that, I like what he gave. He gave a lot of energy, gave a big spark. Bucks win at 99-85. Much needed victory. That's what I saw. JT, what'd you see?
Yeah, a lot of the same thing you saw, I'll say tonight. One thing about Ryan Rollins, and you talked about that, him getting pressured, I think some of that's going to come with experience. You got to give him some run. You 100% do. There were times where he did look a bit overwhelmed bringing that ball up the court, but at the end of the day, I think you smooth some of that out with experience. You got to give him reps. He's got to get a chance. And I thought for the most part, he took advantage of his opportunity tonight. Was decent from three, not an overall efficient night for him, but look, this team tonight, nobody was efficient, like you said, except for Giannis. The Bucks took 56 three-pointers tonight. When you put that in perspective, that's obviously a season high. They only took, 30 three-pointers against Brooklyn and I think like 31 or 32 against Boston, right? You almost doubled your three-point output. Now, unfortunately, they didn't make a whole lot tonight. I think they shot somewhere in the mid-20s from three, so that's underwhelming. But the thing about that tonight, though, is that they were given, when the Raptors are focusing on Giannis, Giannis is kicking the ball. Guys were taking good shots. They just weren't going in. It wasn't like people were taking crazy running off-balance threes consistently. I thought they were taking good shots. They just weren't falling. It just kind of was what it was. Also, man, how about the little block party tonight with Giannis and Brook? How about that, right? I think Brook had like 4 or 5 blocks. Giannis had a couple notable plays. You're like, man, I like what I see here. Welcome back to the game, Brook, defensively. We're not out there doing cardio, doing a couple different things there. But really, the young guys, again, AJ Green. You talk about AJ Green. Well, yeah, it wasn't a great shoot night from him. But again, some of those three, maybe not great, but he still did his part. He still did his role. I would argue that he did that. And again, I'm not even going to mention Bobby. Listen, Bobby from three wasn't great. I think Bobby, we had 1 or 2 3-pointers. Let me look at the Bobby. Yeah, 1 for 7. Fine. But you know what, guys? I'm happy that we got a win tonight. And I'm going to take this win. I'm going to take this win because you know what? You had your star and Dame out. You got to find ways to win. That's what good teams do. They find ways to win games. And this team had a lead after the halftime. That third quarter, the Raptors went on like a 12-0 run or 11-0 run. That lead was gone. But you know what this team did? They opened it right on back up. And that's what you got to do. You got to find ways to win. You especially got to find ways to win against bad teams. So tonight, we're going to celebrate this one. I mean, we're not popping that 200 bottle of liquor, but, we'll give you a good 40, 50.
Wine night?
Yeah.
Wine night.
I know. Damn wine night.
Yeah, no, look, I think I saw good things on both sides of the ball tonight. Obviously, it was a kind of a depleted Raptors team and a Raptors team that's not very good. But I will say from the young guys, AJ Green, Ryan Rollins, I liked how active they were off ball. They were shooting the ball well, ready to shoot the basketball, even though AJ didn't shoot it particularly well. I do think, it was good to see Ryan, rolling off screens and really the Bucks offense setting off-ball screens too and getting those guys open. Defensively, I do think that there was one thing I noticed, and it is they were more meticulous with their gambling for steals, with their gambling for blocks, with their gambling on double teams. A lot of times with this Bucks team, you see them overhelp. You see them, because of their age, miss out on steals, miss out on loose balls, and ultimately ends up in an open bucket for the other team. Tonight, I felt like we did a better job at being controlled in our gambles and really thinking about, getting to loose balls and getting to, big men if they're dribbling the ball and stuff like that, taking stuff away. And then lastly, I'll say, Justin, I examined the final minutes of this one because the young guys got some run, and the three takeaways were Garrett Temple is still in the NBA, Marjon Beauchamp looked terrible, and Tyler Smith could be good. So that's my three takeaways from the final couple minutes.
Well, I appreciate you, my brother, watching that Lifetime Bucks time of the NBA game.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before I go, man, I think it's a momentous occasion. I want to shout my sister out, DJ, who is a lifetime Bulls fan, but she's tuning in to the Cream City crossover tonight to upgrade her basketball knowledge. And while she's listening, just want to say happy Founders Day to them pretty poodles of Sigma Gamma Rho while she's in here. But back to this Buck stuff. So listen, I'm different than you, JT. Like, I'm happy with Bobby, and I'm happy with Pat Connaughton tonight. Like, after what we've saw these previous 10 games, these dudes hooped they behind off tonight. I know Trey probably about to get me, but it's okay. I want to say something.
I don't know what the hell's going on in this chat, though, but go ahead. We got to address this in a second, but this is getting ridiculous. Go ahead.
Let me introduce myself to the Cream City crossover. My name is Justin. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am a homer. So I thought Bobby played well tonight. I know it was 1 for 7, but this is what I saw from Brook. When Brook was playing with his back to the basket and he was out there bodying them guys around, he was well. But when he shot those threes and those transition threes, hey, Brook, we gotta pause that a little bit, though. We gotta hit him with the Trey and the JT. Hey, yo, swing the ball. Swing the ball.
Hey.
This is what I like from Pat and from Bobby and some of the other older guys. I saw they picked up on that energy that came from the AJ Green, the Ajax, and stuff like that. And even though AJ was shooting on the Wisconsin State Fair rims tonight, I still felt like he made an impact on other points of the game, and he played good defense. He deflected it. DeLon Wright played a hell of a defensive game tonight. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but he definitely had a couple steals and stuff like that. So, hey, man, it's something to build off of. After all these damn losses, it's good to finally get a win.
Yeah, no, it definitely was good to get a win. I was happy about that. I would have took a win 1-0, however the Bucks could get it. So again, definitely proud that they were able to do that. You had to figure out a way. I'm glad. I don't know what the hell's happening in the chat. I don't know if the bots have got us. I don't know if
I'm using the did the bots get us? I'm using that block button. Is this how you guys get down in Toronto? What is going on?
What is happening? I don't know. The bots are out on us, man. They done hit us. Okay,
we hit 1,000 subs and you weren't here. Trey, so
it is.
This is crazy. I was going for the show. I missed one show, and this is what y'all got me. This is y'all done brought to the chat. My lord, what is happening?
It's the Cream City crossover.
Oh yeah, well, hey, emphasis on the cream.
OnlyFans coming soon.
Oh, right. OnlyFans channel.
All right, let me get
$25.99. Get some.
Hey, now I ain't that cheap now.
I think that's the most you can charge, right? $25, $29.99, $30.
I wouldn't know. I'm not on the site, dog.
Listen, I'm not on the site either. I'm just saying, like, when you hear about stars having OnlyFans, you like, okay, Cardi B's is $25. Okay, I get it.
I have no clue what hers is.
I mean,
but that's what you heard it is. That's what you got. Hey,
that's what I heard. Might be different.
Cool. Hey, pay your price.
Here's my thing though. How would you feel if you're the OnlyFans girl? Yours is $4.99 and somebody else is $25. When you like, yo, wait a minute. Like,
I guess you got to.
Like, you got to get it or something, or like what we doing?
You got to get it how you live. Everybody, everything ain't created equal.
Right, but who tells you that? That's just my thing. Who tells you, hey, look, for your OnlyFans, you can only charge about $3.99, $4.99. You ain't gonna make no money if you go above that. Like that's got to be the most humbling thing. Somebody's like, yeah, nah, your content only worth about $3 a month. Like what? Like I'm just saying. That's just a question.
JT off the rails tonight. I'm gonna just try to keep us moving past this. With some other comments. Quick Drama Cross says we need to trade our core role players, keep Giannis, Dame, Chris, and roll with the young guys. Trade our core role players, keep Giannis, Dame, Chris, roll with the young. I can see that. I can see where you're going with that. And again, I made a comment when I was watching the game today that it really you really could. Like you really could. It doesn't. I'm looking at this basketball team and I watch different players and I watch some of the guys in the core and it's like, does it matter? Gary Trent Jr. Do you need Gary Trent Jr.? No. Would you live without a Gary Trent Jr.'s basketball? Yeah, you absolutely would. Could you live without DeLon Wright? Yes, you could. Could you live without Pat Connaughton? You could live without a ton of these guys on the basketball team. So I don't think that's incorrect at all. Taylor Thompson says, I don't know what's worse, that Raptor squad or the gaudy NBA Cup floor. Anybody, did y'all like the floor or no? Anybody?
It was a little in your face, I think.
Oh my lord!
Y'all are doing this
in your face.
It was eye popping. That's it.
Hey, right. Yo.
But yeah, they should. I think they released a version that was black instead of blue. That would have been cool. But yeah, that blue is very in your face.
Yeah, it was real tough to see it on the stream, man. Like, I know we're trying to shout out Lake Michigan and the rivers and all that in the state of Wisconsin, but yeah, I'm cool on it. But I'm old. So.
Yeah, they're definitely in love with the blue. Question on the floor that I want to get to again. The Bucks do win at 99-85. Moving forward with the show here. Were you impressed? Was this enough to the 11 King says Toronto was cremated tonight? Okay, y'all are getting creative with the cream stuff. But were you impressed tonight with what you saw from the Bucks? I'll go first, and I'll tell you this emphatically: no, I wasn't. This did nothing for me. Coming out of the half, you're up 11. Toronto immediately goes on 11-0 run. Again, I talked about it in the open, just about how the offense. I didn't like the way it looked. I was impressed with two guys tonight, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Ryan Rollins. Outside of that, everybody else was a big man. Maybe even Taurean Prince. I do like Taurean Prince. To me, seems like he fits the role that you give him. Hit a couple shots, play good, sound defense. I can and he'll go rebound the ball and do some of the necessary things. So I appreciate what he brings. Everybody else, I'm just not impressed with this basketball team. Like I watched Toronto suck, and people are, well, you're missing Damian Lillard. You're missing it. Look at who Toronto is missing. Toronto is missing quickly. They're missing Scotty Barnes. They're missing a ton of players too. So don't get it twisted out here. And oh, by the way, the Milwaukee Bucks had one. I mean, you want to call him the best player in the world or the second best player in the world? That's who the Bucks had. And again, they struggled for large portions of this basketball game. Again, I thought the Bucks looked bland for large portions of the basketball game. So again, I'm happy they got the win. It was a much needed win. But I look at it, you got Detroit tomorrow. Detroit ain't no slouches. Like Detroit is a 5-7 basketball team, and they gonna go out and try to win a basketball game. Like the Detroit Pistons just beat the Miami Heat in overtime, 123-121 tonight. You got on Saturday coming up, me and Justin will be at the game. You got the Charlotte Hornets. I know they got blown out tonight, but the Charlotte Hornets, again, 4-7, not a great, but the Charlotte Hornets gonna go out and they're gonna compete, and LaMelo Ball is gonna try and give you 40. Right? So I'm just saying it's going to take a much better effort. Like the Bucks were lucky they faced Toronto when they did, because Toronto is such a bad basketball team, but Toronto looked bad. And for large portions of the game, the Bucks looked bad. The difference was, again, they got out in transition a little bit, were able to get the win and make some separation. But realistically, that fourth quarter, Giannis shouldn't even play. Giannis shouldn't have had to come back. There should have been no reason Giannis had to come back on the floor. So if you ask me again, was I happy to get the win? Yes. Was I impressed? Nah, I wasn't really impressed with this basketball team. We'll see what happens tomorrow night against Detroit Pistons. And you have no excuses because Detroit's on the back-to-back too.
But to be fair, right? Like you were missing Dame, and this for the most part has been painful. We can't deny that. Just watching the way this team has played has been painful. So I think we as Bucks fans, we find different things to get excited about instead of wins and losses. We're thrilled when we see the young boys out there taking advantage of the opportunity. When we see them out there playing hard, when we see such a stark difference between those guys on the court versus the older, more vet players as well. And one thing I'll say about tonight is it wasn't pretty, and better's not good, but it's better, right? Like that's the thing. And so I think, look, Zach just went up there with the rest of them, and I'm glad that the Bucks found a way. Looking at the adversity tonight, you were up, you blew the lead, you had to go back, you went and got it back. I'm happy that you did what you needed to do and you beat this awful team. Because let me tell you, if we lost tonight, the sky would be, it would feel like the sky was officially falling at that point. So I'm going to take this one up there with the rest. I agree with you, Trey. I don't think anybody's impressed. Having said that, you did have Dame out. You had one of your stars out. No Middleton, no Dame. Brooks looked like a shell of himself for the most part. Bobby's been wildly inconsistent. And, you had to rely on your young guys tonight. And your young guys and your newcomers. And, I think they did what they were supposed to do.
No, I wasn't impressed at all. And, yeah, Trey, there should be no excuse. Like you just mentioned, they went to overtime too, the Pistons did. So, this should be a back-to-back win easily for the Milwaukee Bucks, and hopefully that'll inspire me to say that, okay, maybe we got something here. Maybe we're able to stack a couple wins together, and then you go see Charlotte on Saturday. But to me, the blown leads constantly out of halftime, that happens too much. And then even still, when you were able to create some more separation, we didn't even put up 100 tonight against a bad Raptors team. So, no, I'm not impressed. Saw some good things from, like we talked about, Ryan Rollins, and we'll get to him more later in the show. But I just think that right now I can't – as the guy who makes all the clips and all the videos, I can't be impressed right now, actually. So, no, not impressed.
So I'm impressed. Figures.
Shocker.
Here's why I'm impressed, though. Because, the shots were off. The shot selection was bad. But I saw the things that we complained about against the New York Knicks, the lack of effort, the lack of hustle. That hustle improved tonight. We fought for loose balls. We got there. Pat Connaughton was throwing balls off of guys' paws. I think he was throwing balls off a dick, if I'm not mistaken.
The man's name is Grady.
Pay your fine to the community.
Grady. We got to put the handle on that before we say that. Oh, man.
He took a picture with Anthony Black, too, but we're going to go on.
He did.
Oh, boy.
He did.
No, but for real, though, the hustle was there, the rebounding and stuff like that. A lot of the things that we needed to do to improve against some of these teams that beat us, we were there tonight. And granted, the Toronto Raptors are terrible. Absolutely. They're so bad, Drake won't come to a game only to mean mug DeMar DeRozan. That's the only reason why he comes now. Front runner, too, by the way. Put him in the category with Tyrese Halliburton. But things that we didn't do, we did tonight. So that's what I was impressed by. Was I impressed by Brooke on the transition threes? Yeah, not so much. Bobby's three-pointers? Not so much. But you got to look. I just feel like this, man. Shout out to the guy that I had dinner next to tonight, man. Dude's from Greenville, North Carolina. Reminded me that Blue Edwards went to East Carolina University. I remember them Blue Edwards games. Winning 20 games was a blessing. So we got to win tonight. We're going to build on it. But the defensive effort and the hustle was there tonight. So that's something to build off of, in my opinion. So that's why I was impressed.
Justin, you mentioned so I actually thought the shot selection was good, because to me, for far too often I've seen shot selection where we're shooting far too many mid-range jumpers with non-mid-range shooters. So at least they learned that threes are better than twos, and they did take the threes. And again, I thought a lot of the threes were good threes, like they were open threes. Are we dealing with the reality that this team can't shoot? Again, I know it's 10. You're 11 games in, and you don't want to make any sweeping generalizations because of that, being 11 games in. But I mean, again, Bobby Portis has not shot the ball well all year. Again, I give AJ Green has picked it up at times. Ryan Rollins was decent tonight, but he had a string of misses. Giannis can't shoot. Bobby's not shooting the ball well. Brook Lopez, like his shot is now broken. again, the Bucks are getting a lot of looks, but do they have the quality of guys that? Do you think that again it's just a slump where we're 11 games in, or do you think that at some point the Bucks will figure their shooting woes out, and it's not just a matter of slumping, or it is just a matter of slumping? It's not just a matter of, hey, these guys can't shoot at all.
I think with Brooke is like that jump shot is just it's bad. I hate to say it, but it's bad. The ball comes off his hand. It doesn't look like it has a chance to go in. And when it goes in, it's surprising. We need Brooklyn Brooke and not this 32-foot three-point launching dude. I know he worked on it under Bud, and that's how he kind of reinvented himself. But right now, when your shot's off and you're missing those shots terribly, and it's transition with 22 seconds left on the shot clock, swing the ball, because we saw it. The first play of the game, he made a great post move, then dunked on the boy Poto or Poto, whatever that boy's name is. Yep. That dude from Toronto. He should be traded to Boston because he's a flopper. Shout out to Trent for that video.
Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily something you could just chalk up as like they're just slumping, because it's really been one of the main reasons why you're losing so many games. And you have the best passing 7-footer in the world. In my opinion, maybe people say Jokic, but I think Giannis. I think Giannis is up there as well. So we're able to create the looks for the guys. They're just not knocking them down. Hopefully, it is that they're slumping, but it would be nice if people emerge. Like if Gary Trent Jr. is able to get back, I don't know what happened to him tonight, but if he's able to emerge and knock down more threes, if Damian Lillard, when he comes back, he continues to knock down threes, if Ryan Rollins gets more of an increased role and he's able to shoot 4 of 7, then I think they'll be just okay. But tonight, obviously, didn't shoot it well either. So hopefully it is just a slump.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see. That's what we hope we're going to see, that it's just a slump. But again, I have no idea. But again, I did think the shot selection was a little bit better. And we're going to see what this looks like against Detroit tomorrow night, because again, Detroit not a good team by any stretch of the imagination. They're not going to compete for anything this year. But you will have an opportunity to prove yourself against a team. Again, I think somebody in the chat said it. Anthony Lacey says Detroit got shooters that play fast, play good D, very physical, also well coached. I believe. Is it JB? Is JB Bickerstaff over there in Detroit now? Isn't JB Bickerstaff over in Detroit? I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah. He took over from my man, Monty Williams, still on money over there.
Boy, Monty Williams still getting paid every second of every day. Monty Williams is on that 6-year, $80 million deal.
Yeah.
Fired after year 1. I found Monty Williams. He worked at a high school right now.
Is he? Hey, why not? Why not?
His son's team. Smart.
Why not?
Paid to get broke off by the Pistons.
Why not? Absolutely. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense for him. And again, the best thing about this year right now, you look at Detroit, who's 5-7. The best thing about the best thing about the Bucks right now is nobody else in the East is that good. Like, you are 3 games out of third place right now, as the Milwaukee Bucks. So you're in great shape. Actually, 2.5. So you're in great shape. You gotta find a way to keep winning. But you got to get better. And I think Damian Lillard should be back tomorrow night. They say he's out of concussion protocol. It was interesting because, we find out Damian Lillard's going to miss the game. And did you see the play that he got hit by an official, which was the craziest part of it. He gets hit as an official's waving off a basket. So again, that's just interesting how all those things go. But the Bucks do figure out a way to get the dub. Let's talk about Ryan Rollins for a second. Ryan Rollins, and he has a shoulder issue. Hopefully it doesn't keep him out too long. But this is a guy we've been talking about over and over and over again. We've been talking about all the young boys, but we continue to harped on Ryan Rollins. And he just needs the opportunity and the chance. I think somebody in the chat talked about it as well. When does Tyler Smith get the chance? When does AJ Johnson get a chance over DeLon Wright? I don't know. But Ryan Rollins, again, we talked about it. He has to improve his handling of basketball. People will come up and pressure him. You saw, I think, Peyton Pritchard pressured him against Boston a ton. You saw Davion Mitchell tonight press him up the floor. What do you think Ryan Rollins, where does he stand as for this basketball? Because what he does, because talk about some of the things he doesn't do well, but what he does do well, number one, he's not afraid. He reminded me of, Justin, you'll appreciate this. You know who he remind me of tonight, especially in a game where you're limited and you don't have a bunch of all your stars to take some of the shots that they would normally take. He reminded me of a young Gary Neal. And I remember back in the day with Gary Neal's with the Bucks, and Gary Neal, man, it like we had so many guys there that just didn't want to shoot the ball. And Gary Neal, that team was a bad basketball team, but Gary Neal wasn't afraid to take shots. Gary Neal said, hey, I'm shooting. Don't nobody want the ball? Oh, okay, bet. We pulling. Ryan Rollins had the confidence and was going to pull no matter what. I did appreciate that. Couple ill-advised threes, but Ryan Rollins wanted to pull. Let's let him pull. But then defensively, he's all over the floor. He's impacting the game. And that's some of what you get with Andre Jackson Jr. as well, just impacting the game in a lot of different ways. So I like that from Ryan Rollins. My question is, what is he actually? Is he an off-ball guard? Can he be – you obviously see the way he's going to get his most time is if he can actually be your backup point guard and take over that DeLon Wright spot. And, where, okay, when Dame goes out, here comes Ryan Rollins. But what is he actually? Like, what in the grand scheme of things, when you're watching what this basketball team can be, where does Ryan Rollins actually fit in rotation-wise? And I'm talking about doing it well.
JT, thank you.
Anybody?
Hard.
Because I thought he was talking to Justin. So
I think he's a dog. And that's what we need on the floor. We need dogs. I think that he struggles with that. Like we talk about that traditional point guard role. He need to get one of them dribble up basketballs and work on that handle, man. Because that handle's a problem. The dude picked him like 2 times in a row. And like you mentioned in the prelude, Trey, he was 15 seconds till we get into the offense. But one thing I want to give his brother credit for, man, this guy came in the game with a separated shoulder and knocked down a 3.
He did.
Probably the toughest shot of the night. So that shows grit to me. That shows hustle. That shows everything that we want. And I just feel like he needs to get on that floor more.
I think
that's what I got on Rollins, man.
Yeah, I think where he fits is a backup point guard. To be honest, like I think that this was good for him to face some good on-ball defenders. Yes, they didn't have some of their guys, but they had their best on-ball defenders in Davion Mitchell and Jamal Shead, I think. So, like, that's about as good as it gets from just a point guard standpoint in defenders. And I think, look, he can learn so much from having the ball in his hands and being out there for a game like tonight. And I think he will learn that he's got to be more selective with some of the shots he takes around the rim. I don't think those were particularly good shots, but he's shown that he can make some of these floaters and teardrops and get to the bucket. But I was most encouraged with the three-point shooting. I mean, this is a guy that maybe Golden State drafted him to be like a Jordan Poole replacement kind of guy, or to learn under Steph Curry. It's just it didn't play out that way. And I think that's what really enticed teams to picking Ryan Rollins up, and maybe enticed us to picking him up. And so the three ball definitely impressed me, and we've seen him flash that in summer league and stuff like that. But to see him be out there and do it on the NBA floor, very encouraging. And I think, I'm looking at DeLon Wright, and I'm just like, man, he does some good things, but it's not all the way good. And he's too inconsistent. And I'll take the younger guy for sure in giving him that role if he's able to get out there just a little more.
Would agree with that. And I think the thing about him is out of the young boys, I mean, him and maybe Derrick Bird, those are really your two-way guys, right? Like, those are really your guys who I think can generate offense, but then also play defense, aggressive defense as well. And I think, because of that, I would love to see him evolve into the backup point guard. Spell Dame from time to time. Get out there and run with that second unit, right? Especially when we figure out what that second unit's going to look like after the return of Chris Middleton as well. So, one thing I'll say I'm excited about is the fact that Doc is playing the young guys, but he's playing more of them. It's not just I'm just playing Andre Jackson, right? Or I'm just playing Derrick Bird. You're playing more. You're basically forcing the development of your bench and of your young guys at this point, which I absolutely love because they need to play. And again, it wasn't necessarily pretty from a stats perspective from Ryan Rollins, but I think you saw a lot to be excited about tonight. And you saw a player who's only going to get better if he gets more reps.
Talking about where Ryan Rollins can fit in. JT, you know where you can fit in at?
Curly's waterfront.
There you go.
Yeah.
Curtis Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Get on down to Curtis Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, Lakeview Boulevard, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let me tell you about something new they're doing. A bourbon raffle to benefit the Milwaukee Food Pantry. One raffle, 12 winners. Tickets can be purchased the entire month of November. That means you still got time. And are $5 each or 10 for 40. The winners will be drawn and notified on Monday, December 2nd. 100% of the ticket sales will be donated directly to the food pantry. So again, tons of bourbon. Well, next show we'll have to figure out a way to get a picture up. But tons of bourbon. Again, one raffle. 12 winners. Tickets will be purchased the entire month of November. $5 each, 10 for $40. Please go out to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. And of course, you know the deal on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Every Wednesday night bingo, Thursday night's trivia. They are giving away what?
Bucks tickets.
Bucks tickets.
Tickets. Section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Get out there for bingo Wednesday night, Thursday night for trivia. And of course, during all Milwaukee Bucks televised games, $3 bottles and pipes. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, your Bucks headquarters. And let's go to the chat and go ahead.
I got a quick question before we get off Ryan Rollins. What is his contract situation? Because I heard a lot of stuff mentioned in the chat and on Twitter. And it may not have been in chat, it may have been Twitter that he's on some type of weird contract. We need to.
He's a two-way, I believe.
Oh, we need to go ahead and guarantee that dude for the rest of the year. Like, stop playing with him.
Oh, I agree.
I agree with that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
100%. 100%.
I didn't realize he's only 22.
Yeah, young boy. Yeah, he's real young out. That's why he put him in a second chance program. He was still not them targets.
Yeah, right. Listen, like I said, you came out of self-checkout line or make sure you got a debit card on him the whole time. You're all right.
Yeah, man. Get that boy for two-way so he can make sure he can get out of Target with his money.
Here's my thing, right? Why was Buddy stealing toiletries? Like, my G, when you do all this for some Old Spice? Like, what we doing?
Them candles, like, hey, you bring a shorty over the crib, you got to get a candle. Them candles run you about $20 now.
Hey, I mean, they do, but I just feel like if you, something tells me that if you stealing Old Spice and toothpaste, you might not be a candle guy, right? Like, I don't know. You just might not be a candle guy. I don't know. I just get the feeling, level of sophistication there. Actually, did he steal candles too?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, all right. So
one thing for sure, two things for certain. JT gonna run that criminal history on them.
Yeah, listen. When you do dumb stuff, you just can't outrun it. And like when you see things that are so outlandish, that man arrested for theft, and then you see it's for like travel size deodorants and soaps and everything else, and it was over $1,000. Come on, bro. Like,
and they staying at the top-notch hotels where all that stuff probably in the bathroom anyway.
I mean, like, what we doing, Ryan?
Well, like, not if you went to Santa Cruz Warrior. Well, no, he was in DC at that time.
He was with the Wizards, sir.
He was a Wizard. So yeah. Well, no, but if you would, but he played with the Washington DC Go-Go. So if you wasn't on the big league team, they ain't traveling too well, from what I understand. They busting everywhere. So I don't know, man. I don't know. He could have maybe, like I said, check-ins and savings. Maybe he hadn't deposited. Maybe he was missing a couple funds. Maybe the direct deposit hadn't hit that day, and he needed some Old Spice. I don't know.
Hey, listen, man. Let me just tell you, right? Because I know all of us got pride, right? All of us got pride. If you need some deodorant and you don't have any, you can always ask your boy, hey man, you got an extra stick of that? Let me get the extra stick. I'm gonna hit you back when you get paid this game. I need some deal. I need something like but you're not gonna go steal it from Target. Like, yeah, I mean, right? Like, what we doing?
That's what he did. Didn't work out. Like I said, he just ain't he got caught. So it is what it is. We all learn from our mistakes. And it's Ryan Rollins.
Learn something.
You learn something. Let's get, like I said, let's make sure that we get him transferred over to a standard contract, and he ain't never had to steal no more Old Spice again.
We going to the chat?
Do it like that. Yeah, let's go to the chat, man. I'm getting lost. Chat. Chat says, I can't wait to see how Scotty Barnes plays with Dick. Okay. I don't get that one.
I'll be my fault.
Jay Stroh says, can y'all address how bad Gary Trent Jr. is? Yeah, it hasn't been good. Like, it's one of the things where, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, it just hasn't been good. And it's like, when you're a jump shooter and you're not hitting jump shots, it may, and again, he's just not impacting the game. The thing that just hurts me so bad is I've seen him do it to the Milwaukee Bucks, like just nonstop. I've seen him play so much better against us in a different uniform, and then to watch how he plays, while he's with the Milwaukee Bucks, it has not been good. And so again, I'm hoping and he only played 5 minutes tonight. I haven't got a report on why he only played 5 minutes. I'm assuming that his back tightened up again. I think that would have been, because to me it just seems odd he only got 5 minutes tonight. But yeah, we'll see. But listen, Jay Stroh, he has not been good. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He hasn't been good.
And he's got a bad back. I mean, I'll give him that excuse. It doesn't make any sense. And we're not going. I mean, you only got a few more games you can use that. But I agree. I've been very disappointed in Gary Trent. I had high hopes because we've seen what he's done around this league. We knew we had a chemistry with Dame. It was somebody else to run around with Dame and compliment him, and that has not happened. Funny thing though is Jay Stroh got about 10 comments in this chat, and you went and found that one. And I know you skipped over some of them other comments that Jay Stroh.
I don't. Yeah, I just be rolling. So
everybody can read. Everybody can read them.
Someone else go ahead.
Hey man,
go ahead.
I agree. I agree with you, JT. Man, it's the back. I feel like, and a back injury is something that you really can't take lightly. I mean, we saw Brook Lopez miss almost an entire season off of that back stuff. But he got to straighten his back out. So he needs to take some time. Don't come back. Don't rush back because you see Dame is down and stuff like that. We got guys that'll fill in for you, but you can't come out there with a sore back and expect to shoot jumpers, man. And Trey, you hit it on the head as well, man. If you're a jump shooter, you're going to have off nights and on nights. But the thing that really frustrates me about this guy, Gary Trent Jr., is he dropped 31 in that Pfizer Forum the last time he was in there on an opposing team. And the Raptors beat the Bucks. But on top of that, when your jump shot's not going in, I preach it all the time, find another way to impact the basketball game, and he is not doing that.
Yeah, and at this point in his career, from what I see, just eye test wise, it doesn't seem like he's that type of player anymore. It's just what I see. Like I'm not seeing him get after people defensively. I'm not seeing him, rebound at a high level. I'm not seeing it right now, and you might need him for coming off the bench and being a spark and being able to create some runs, but you're not going to get that if he's not making shots. So I think that's where we're at with GTJ.
But Chris, I feel like when I listen to what you just said, I'm getting that's something you say about somebody that's washed. He's only 26. So how's he not that player anymore? Like, how you just cook and you saying he's the beginning of being cooked at 26? Like, there's no physical decline at that point.
Yeah, Chris definitely cooked him.
There shouldn't be, but if you guys are talking, if it's the back, then maybe it's the back that's the reason why he's not that athletic right now, or all the stuff that we need.
You need to hit up my big bro Gary Ellerson. He got some great massage spots in Milwaukee that can get that back straightened out for him.
There we go. I know who you don't need to hit up.
No,
we ain't doing that. That's where you don't hit up. And you know what? I like what you just said. You need to hit up such and such who's got some great massage spots. That's a professional. Because what you can't do is get these girls off Twitter to give you a massage for your back. That's what you can't do. Not if you need it. Not if you actually need a massage for your back. Not if your back's actually sore.
For those wondering, this is what a Tuesday night victory versus the depleted Raptors gets you. This is the kind of post that
been off the rails the entire show.
That's definitely the angle I was going for.
At Millbucks2 says the offense, if you can call it that, is awful. They don't defend the three at all. It's Giannis trying to do everything with little support. Nice to see them get a W, but they have to play better to beat good teams. I think that's true. At Rick Diculous says halftime is just an issue and a half. Any half competent team will make them pay for being flat-footed like they are every night. At Adrian_K says we learned nothing new about this team other than Ryan Rollins should be on a standard contract. Otherwise, they still need to improve the bench a lot, and they need another ball handler desperately. At Porque No Gui says missed a lot of good looks, and the dribble handoffs were ugly, but at least they took shots like a modern NBA team. They did. They shot the three ball. At Big 4 F and 5 says if they can schedule more bad teams, they got a fighting chance. Read a couple more here. At Giannis Free Throw Watcher says Brooke has to stop shooting threes. At Sunk345 says we are a top heavy team and the show tonight. The margin for error is very little. At Gabs Rosales says nice win. Could have been a game where Doc can look into using AJ Johnson or Tyler Smith, but Bucks choking at some point. Ryan Rollins will be the next George Hill. Something wrong with Gary Trent. I don't know what it is. And last one at GA_hoop says Giannis was masterful tonight. Best in the world. Also, what the heck happened to GTJ? So a lot of people having some questions about Gary Trent Jr. King of Kings says Ryan Rollins is my dog from Detroit. Yeah, man. So again, the Bucks get the win tonight. Maybe get through this a little bit quickly. Like I said, it's a Tuesday night. Guys are restless. I can obviously see. 99-85. The Bucks beat the Raptors. Again, a battle of trash. I'm looking. The Bucks are 3-8. Raptors are 2-10. Last thing I get before we get to game balls. Any credence at all to this being the Emirates NBA Cup East Group B? You're looking at. Let me just go if I can find it here. You're looking at the groupings here with the Milwaukee Bucks. Their group is Milwaukee, Detroit, Miami, Toronto, Indiana. In the NBA Cup last year is where you saw Indiana and Milwaukee kind of. I think that's kind of where this whole thing started. This sort of rivalry in the NBA Cup, and then they beat us out in Vegas. But the Bucks and Detroit are right now at the top of the standings in the East Group B. The Bucks are at the top with a plus 14 point differential. Detroit is a plus 2. Miami and Toronto both lost tonight, and then you have Indiana who has not played yet in the East Group B. So, given where we are in the season, given where the Bucks are, last thing I ask before we get to the game balls, should the NBA Cup have any significance to the Milwaukee Bucks this year?
For the Bucks?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying that.
No.
Let me set it up. At 3, let me set it up. At 3-8 right now, or 2-8 when you came into it. I guess what I'm saying is the Milwaukee Bucks have not shown that they are good at all. Like, people are looking at you like you're food. People are looking at you like you are trash. People are looking at you like you washed up, like you have nothing. In a normal year, I would almost agree. Yeah, who cares about the NBA Cup? You got to get to the finals. You got to worry about the playoffs. My question is, do the Milwaukee Bucks, when you start off 2-8, is there a different? Do you have to go on a mission to show people? Well, like I said, because these count as regular season wins. So you really don't have I guess, number one, you don't even have an option to last NBA Cup. I don't really care. You got to get back to 500 ASAP. So every game in front of you kind of matters at this point when you start off that. I'm just asking, do you have any more juice to prove to people, hey, look at us. We're not leftovers. They were mad they didn't get to play on Christmas. So you're not playing on Christmas. The NBA looks like Jesus right now because you don't even deserve to play on Christmas the way you're playing. Do you have something to prove to yourself to say, hey, let's get to Vegas. Let's get to these semifinals. Let's get to Vegas. Let's go win the damn NBA Cup and show people that the Milwaukee Bucks are still a team to be reckoned with. You need to figure when we on the schedule, we still Giannis, we still Dame, we Chris when he gets back. Is any of that? Now that I set it up like that, JT, does any of that matter? Do the Milwaukee Bucks need to go win the NBA Cup?
Hell no. You know why? Because, hey, tell me, in what way, shape, or form does the NBA Cup make this team any younger, quicker, more aggressive, more versatile, allow this team to have any fight, attitude, change the temperament of this? No, absolutely not. I don't give a damn about this NBA. Listen, man, I am as optimistic. Well, I think we're a pretty optimistic bunch. And I think that us being a pretty optimistic bunch and us grappling with the fact that this team might be completely cooked 10 games into the season is jarring. We haven't felt this way as Bucks fans. This team ain't been this damn bad as Bucks fans in 7-8 years. I mean, this is awful, right? So when you ask me, does the NBA Cup have any bearing? Absolutely not, because at the end of the day, what we've been saying, hey, about time to break this core up. We got a move to make. We avoiding the inevitable right now. We got a move to make. Who we moving? Who we shipping out? How we getting better, right? The NBA Cup solves none of that. We don't give a damn about that. You can bring that in, and we can bring that trophy back. You know what Bucks fans collectively say? Tickets is $8 at the BMO Harris. Y'all trying to go see? Y'all trying to go watch? What y'all trying to do? Oh, well, tickets only $8. We can go to Carson's downstairs and go get a meal before. I mean, like, no, not at all. This absolutely not. Nobody care about this Emirates Cup. Y'all even know where the Emirates are at? Bet y'all know where the Emirates are at.
UAE.
Yeah. Where exactly is that located?
Getting the Arab money. I'm sorry.
And on that note,
I disagree, JT. I think that this does a lot for the Bucks if they're able to get to the NBA Cup and win it, because you're in the same group as the Pacers, who, you've got that little thing going with them. I do think that the route there would be tough, and it would make you play probably a better team than originally thought on the schedule if you were just to lose. So, I think this can kind of spark some momentum as long as we get Damian Lillard back out of concussion protocol. That man hit his head. So I think there's a little bit to take from it. Like, you're not just going to go in there and just hope to lose. So I would say, as a Bucks fan, let's go win it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean the Chris King side on this one. We're 3-8, man. Like, any game we can get closer to 500 is important for us. We got to win everything in front of us. And the NBA Cup happens to get in the way of that, then we got to bring that joint back to Milwaukee too. I don't know if we raise a banner. We ain't got a lot of banners though. So you might as well raise that junk too.
Nah, I don't want the banner. I don't want the banner.
Hey, them 17 champion big brothers in them Boston Celtics have raised the banner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they raised the banner. So, look, man, we just got to win basketball games at this point. I don't care what it's for. If it's for the Bahamas Cup, if it's for the Emirates Cup, if it's for Drake's OVO Cup, if it's for Not Like Us, the Kendrick Lamar Cup, whatever cup they given, trophy they given, we got to go get all them joints now. Start with the NBA Cup, but don't finish until you get the Larry O'Brien.
I'm with y'all, man. I'm kind of with y'all. I think normally I would be with JT and I don't really care about the NBA Cup. But when you start off like this, nah, man. Whatever, because clearly nothing motivates this basketball team. Clearly they don't care about nothing. So maybe the opportunity to get a little extra money. Maybe your boy Ryan Rousey a little bit. How much money you get winning? What, everybody get $1 million?
Half a
million. Oh, hey, you might be set for the year on deodorant and candles at a time. So maybe that's the motivation. Whatever you have to do to get yourself going. I'm with it, man. Let's go win it, man. Let's go win it. That's all. Let's go win it.
Now that you put it like that, floss, socks, and draws. There's your motivation right there. There you go. Oh man, no, I hear what you're saying. I really do, and I get it. But it just, to me, I feel like, listen, man, you can win an NBA Cup if you want to, but what do we as Bucks fans expect? We expect the championship. We expect this team to be competing for championships. We expect this team to get out the first round. And I don't feel like the Bucks winning that solves any of that, right? Like because here's the thing. This team's been out the first 2 rounds last year. And if you were a casual fan that just watched 3 Bucks games a year, you go, man, okay. They've been eliminated twice in that first round. But if you follow this team, you know how good this team really can be, and you know how massively underachieving this team has been the last couple of years with the injuries and everything else. You're kind of like, I want to get through the regular season, but I really want to see us do something in these playoffs. But having said that, this year's regular season is like such a damn train wreck. I think Bucks would get tight if you said playoffs at all right now. Folks would be like, man, I don't know about this, right? Right? You're clinching at that point, sitting on one side.
Hey yo. I was trying to let it go, man. Kept going with it. No, I get what you're saying though. I do. But I'll say this. If you win the NBA Cup, that means you're playing good basketball. If you're playing that deep into the NBA Cup in Vegas, that means you're playing good basketball against higher quality teams. You got to expect that the better teams are going to be there. Your Bostons, your Timberwolves, your Denver Nuggets, your Cleveland Cavaliers in the East. So you get an opportunity to test yourselves in this. Hopefully at some point Chris Miller comes back. You see what you got going there. Let's move on. Let's roll it to game balls. I'm going to give my game ball tonight to a guy. Hey, man, what they say? If you got to give an arm, you give an arm. You got to give a leg, you got to give a leg. if you got to give a shoulder, you give a shoulder. And Ryan Rollins gave a shoulder tonight. 12 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 5 steals for Ryan Rollins. 4-7 from 3. He left the game a plus 10 in his, I think this was his first start, at least for the Bucks. I don't know if he has started before in his career, but first start for the Milwaukee Bucks, 12 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 5 steals, lit up the stat sheet, gave effort, gave hustle, gave all the above. Ryan Rollins gets Guru game ball.
I'm going to follow up. I'm going to do something that we rarely ever do. I am also going to give Ryan Rollins my game ball for those reasons mentioned and also for the toughness Ryan Rollins showed, as Chris King pointed out, where he came back in, shot that three-pointer after the shoulder injury as well. And he made that three-pointer that Chris King did point out. And quite honestly, we don't see that kind of toughness from basketball players. So looking at that with Ryan Rollins, in addition to taking advantage of his start tonight, taking advantage of this moment, Doc is going to be stingy. Traditionally has been stingy with the playing time for the young guys. And so what you got to do when you get a shot is get in there and ball out. And quite honestly, I thought Ryan Rollins did that tonight. So for that reason, he gets my game ball.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with giving it to Giannis. I feel like he was – I mean, it's always – a lot of times when you're watching the NBA and you're watching the Bucks, best player on the floor. But it was just so glaring that without Giannis, like, what would this team be? Like, this guy is doing it on both sides of the ball every time, making big blocks and then turning around, going and dunking on people, getting dunked on. Who cares? Next play. Like, I'm going to give it to Giannis. And although he probably should have had the double-double with the assists, still was finding his teammates, still was getting everybody involved. And I saw him making Ryan Rollins feel comfortable out there too. I mean, he was treating him like he was PG1, which he was for today.
Yeah, all good game balls. I'm going to go a little bit off the kilter. I'm going to give mine to Greg Buckner. I saw a great defensive effort tonight. I saw a great defensive scheme. Those guys pressured the ball. They played well. I mean, if you got barbecue chicken on the plate, like Giannis says, don't play with your food. Eat your food. And I felt like we ate tonight. And that's what we got to do going forward, man. So if we keep this defensive effort up, we can compete in this NBA Cup and win it. And then go on to JT's Larry O'Brien.
There we go. Good game balls coming out from everybody. Again, Jay Stroh telling everybody, right. Telling everybody hit the like button. We definitely want you guys to hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all of that to the Cream City crossover. KJ says Rollins, Alex, Ajax, Derry Bird, and DeLon Wright was the beast defensively. I hope Doc sees that Giannis sees guys who can play off the bounce and who are active. When Giannis simplifies his game and starts to score easier, he'll be much more dangerous and it'll take more wear and tear off of him. That alone can win as the team is constructed as it is now a chip. I don't know that this team. I still don't know that the team as constructed can win a championship. I really don't. And again, those I get it. We're talking about those guys. And again, you definitely will need some of those guys, but I don't know that when you talk about winning, it's going to be about what Dame brings, what Giannis brings, and what Chris brings, and who can play off of that. And then you're, like I said, you're looking at Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez. Are those the guys that can help you in those efforts? But you do got to play young guys. 100% in agreement. Got to play the young guys. Let's go. Any before we get to our look around, final words on the 99-85 victory. Before we get to look around, anything else you want to get at as the Bucks win 14 over the Toronto Raptors?
No, I just want to shout out Marcus Johnson. I thought that was a great piece tonight on Mr. Beckham Stapleton Little League out of Milwaukee. I played Beckham Stapleton Little League, so I thought it was a real cool piece. And it was an excellent job by the Bucks to kind of showcase a living legend in the Milwaukee inner city.
Yeah, the real test for me will be tomorrow. You gotta go back to back. You gotta win back to back. You gotta get 2 in a row. You haven't done it yet this season, and it's a bad team on an okay team that just played in overtime. So you gotta take advantage of it.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. Nothing. You got anything for me, JT? You good?
No. We good.
All right.
We're rolling.
All right. We good. All right. Let's keep rolling. Let's do a look around the NBA today. 99-85 Bucks beat the Raptors. Trailblazers they are blowing out the they're absolutely blowing out the Minnesota Timberwolves right now. Not a blowout. They're up 17. Who?
Imani Kamara.
Oh, Tumani. Oh, yeah. Tumani. Let's see. Is he balling? Tumani. I don't even see him. I don't see him got nothing going. I'll see you on tomorrow.
11
Tomorrow.
points plus 17. I got you.
Oh, there you go. Tomorrow. Oh, yeah, he does have 11 points. Yeah, he is. Plus 9. Yeah, okay. But he out there balling. Good job. Dayton in effect. The Mavericks are down by 6 to the Warriors right now. The Orlando Magic 114-89 over the Hornets. They get a win. The Detroit Pistons win at 123-121. We talked about that in overtime over the Miami Heat. That game ended where on technical free throws, I don't know if you saw this, but I believe Jalen Duren dunked the ball to tie it up, and then with not too much time left, and then Eric Spoelstra jumped on the court, called a timeout. They didn't have any timeouts left, and Detroit got technical free throws and won a basketball game. So it was interesting.
Shout out to C-Web.
Yeah, exactly. And the Atlanta Hawks beat the Boston Celtics. Hey, there we go. 117-116. I didn't see that game. I did hear there were some turnovers late with Jason Tatum. He didn't have a great game. I think Jaylen Brown played well. But that's what they get. All that crying, and now you're 0-1 in the NBA Cup. So good to see that. And then the Knicks, 111-99 over the 76ers. Joel Embiid, I saw this before. I saw some of that game before the Bucks game started. And, man, Joel Embiid looked horrible. I mean, he looked awful. He looked as bad as he could look. I know he's just coming back from an injury. I mean, he looked like a guy that's on the cusp of retiring. I mean, that's how bad it was. And that's what's my man, Coach RJ. He always up in here talking about them Sixers. Yeah, talk about your squad. Your squad's 2-8, my guy. Don't come here and talk about the Bucks when the 76ers are 2-8. Coach RJ. I don't know who you coach. You can go coach for Nick Nurse and help them boys out.
Where he at tonight?
I know. Exactly. They never hear when his team 2-8. But always yapping.
Probably in the damn bed. It's 11:45.
He somehow finds his way in the chat all the time talking about the Bucks, and he logged. He said he says one little thing in the comment, then I gotta go to bed. All right, well he'll see this in the morning. 111-99, your boys stink. The Suns beat the Jazz 120-112. Only other thing I really wanted to get at and talk to you guys about. Did you guys what's happening Friday night, right?
Jake Paul and Iron Mike.
Hey, let me tell you. Let me
we
tell you
stand on this, Trey.
Let me tell you what Jake Paul about to do. That man, Mike
it's
Tyson.
about to be bad. Yep.
John, this is your last opportunity.
You mean this rigged fight?
This is your no, it ain't gonna rig.
Not a real boxing match.
No,
because Jake Paul is not gonna let Mike Tyson really fight him. This rigged boxing match.
Hold on. Why would it be? Hold on. Why would it be rigged? Why would it be rigged? Why would Mike Tyson rig? Why would Mike Tyson?
Because Mike Tyson gonna get a $20 million payout. If you're gonna tell me $20 million for me to do this dance, okay, we'll make it work.
Let me tell you something. Mike Tyson might be injured. I'm talking about like seriously hurt. I fear for this man. What's about to happen? He was about to be bad. And the only hope that Mike Tyson has on Friday night is that Jake Paul shows some mercy and says, you know what, I'm gonna just touch you up real quick, and I'm gonna let you up out of this. And right now. Mike Tyson is 60 years old, man.
Mike Tyson is 60 years old. He's still in phenomenal shape. And listen,
he's not. They had to reschedule the fight months later.
He's 60. He's in phenomenal shape. Them hands are still cinder blocks. Don't let nobody gas you with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, who is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters, one of the baddest men to ever walk across this planet. And you know the thing about Mike Tyson is there's two Mike Tysons. It's like Iron Mike before he went to jail, and then there's the Mike Tyson after he went to jail. And Mike Tyson is that dude. I mean, he was Mr. Knock You Out 30 seconds to the first round. Mike Tyson was that dude, and Mike Tyson is that guy. Man, listen. Let me tell you, Mike Tyson is one of my favorite athletes of all time. I find Mike Tyson to be completely fascinating because I don't know what has gone through this man's mind, and this man has mentally seems like he's been cooked since he's been about 18. But Mike Tyson is that dude. And put some respect on Iron Mike.
And JT, if this was 30 years ago, I'd fully be in Mike Tyson's corner, but it's not. So here's my question. So let me just ask this, and then let everybody go. So you're telling me, so if this is what you truly believe, Mike Tyson's that dude. So you're telling me if Jake Paul knocks him, I guess you're saying it's rigged. Just if Jake Paul knocks him out, then you got it.
Clifford Etienne
knocked
out Mike Tyson.
He's cooked.
Right? Like, and this was like in 2000, and I'm not sure, right? I mean, I don't know. I think this is rigged. That's the whole get up with Jake Paul and Logan Paul is they rigging fights, right? His brother fought Floyd, and they, you even heard the audio. So what are you doing? Or Floyd's about to give him that work, right? I mean, listen, like this is, they singing and they singing and dancing. Mike Tyson will get a bag, $20 million. I can show some discipline. All right, I'll let you do your thing. What I got to lose? I put a little money in my pocket, keep pushing. My reputation is my reputation at that point. I ain't worried about it. Mike Tyson's reputation is not going to be harmed by this fight, regardless. Jake Paul might build his reputation saying, I beat Mike Tyson at 60 years old.
His reputation will be harmed when he hit that canvas, boy. He about to be, hey, look, he's just too old, man. Like, I don't care. You can punch the punching bag as hard as you can at 50, however some years old he is. That doesn't move me. Jake Paul, better shape, might be bigger, but way bigger than the guy. So
yeah, he is bigger.
Yeah. So
Mike knocked out a whole lot of folks that was bigger than him too.
Yeah,
I'm just
30 years ago, right?
Back in the day.
I'm just saying, 30 years ago. Mike was so damn crazy. Mike is like the first athlete that I know of that had literally lost that much money in lawsuits. This dude, you remember he kicked that man in the groin outside the club? Like Mike just, I don't know why he didn't roll with security or why he just didn't have people. I'm not really sure what happened.
Because he was a stone cold killer. He ain't need no security.
But how you just kept finding yourself in situations where every single time you have an altercation is costing you millions and millions and millions of dollars is just fascinating to me. And nobody at some point was like, hey, you need security to do about it.
You know the beautiful thing about this altercation he gonna have on Friday? He gonna make millions and millions of dollars.
He will.
And he gonna knock that Goof Troop Nickelodeon dude out.
Goof Troop, I love it.
Hey, get that Goofy out of here, man. Mike Tyson is psychotic. He a real stone cold killer. And I think the boy should walk out to Stone Cold Steve Austin WWF music. Because he gonna knock that boy out. Business about to pick up. Jake Paul, you a clown, you a goofy, you all that. You fight a bunch of bums. And Mike Tyson, you about to get knocked out by somebody granddaddy.
He about to have Jake.
Papa Mike for the KO.
Jake Paul gonna be looking like Ron Paul.
Man.
RuPaul's crazy.
Not RuPaul.
Let me ask this. Do you think does this set back? Do you think this sets back boxing? I do. Let me ask you, is this good for boxing? This is going to be one of the most watched fights of all time, just because it's on Netflix. Like, everyone's able to see it. Is this going to be? Does this set boxing back, or is this good? Like, this is what Jake Paul doing. Is it good for the sport? And I guess I'll answer first. I think it is, just because boxing was dead. Like, and so this is it. At the very least, you got people who want to watch now. Like, there are very few fighters who I watch. I watch Tank Davis. I watch what's some other man named Bud Crawford. I watch there's a couple guys but it used to be back, man. There were guys who just watched, like even Floyd Mayweather. Anytime it came up, you just don't. There's just not a lot of guys right now that you just this is appointment viewing. I think that's now UFC, if anything, that people are watching at a higher rate. So for this opportunity to happen, yes, everybody's gonna be tuned in. I know John Jones is fighting too, same weekend, but I'm gonna be tuned in to Tyson and Jake Paul. I just have to. I don't know. It's got my attention.
I think heavyweight boxing is cooked. Heavyweight boxing has been cooked for a while now. I mean, you're looking at least a decade there. You really don't have that many elite heavyweight boxing fighters that people will need to plan their Saturdays around watching. You just don't. You just, for whatever reason, you just don't see that anymore. You had that for a while, but last 10 to 15 years, heavyweight boxing, you just really haven't had that you just really haven't had numerous heavyweight fighters that were big tickets like that. That has not happened. And I think, is this good for the sport? No, I don't think this is good for the sport, because quite honestly, I don't think at 60, right? What are we doing here? Having said that, hey, get your money, Mike, and get yourself another knockout.
I just want to correct before anybody says. I just want to correct Ghost saying Tyson Paul's expedition. It's not. It is not an expedition fight. This is a sanctioned fight. I believe it's in Texas. It has been sanctioned. Now they are going to go.
But is Paul on an actual? But neither one of these dudes are on an actual circuit right now.
Well, no, it may not be on a circuit. It may not be on an actual circuit, but I'm saying that it counts for a professional bout. Like it's not like
I see
when Tyson fought who was that, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
That was an exhibition fight. Like this is not an exhibition. This will count towards your professional record. It's gonna be 2-minute rounds instead of 3. I think it's 8 rounds, and I know they are using 14-ounce gloves so that Tyson's face isn't just an absolute, like I said, he gonna be looking like I ain't gonna go to RuPaul, but go ahead.
I don't think it's good or bad for the sport. I think people recognize that this is just what Jake Paul does and what the Paul brothers kind of do with just creating cinema. It's cinema. But yeah, I mean, people recognize that this isn't something you need to take serious. It won't take a hit on Tyson's legacy if he loses, and certainly won't have a hit on Jake Paul's legacy if he loses.
No, it won't take a hit on him if he loses. But no, if Jake Paul, I'm talking about seriously injures this man. If it's belt to ass, it's gonna be talked about. It's one of the biggest things that happen all year.
Yeah,
if it's belt to now, if they just tag each other up and then, but if Jake Paul really come in, or I'm saying on the slight chance that Mike Tyson knocks out Jake Paul, yes, that would be the biggest story of one of the big stories of the year.
Well, at that point, the gimmick is over.
Yeah, that's what
you can't have Jake Jake can't be in an Annie are you okay Annie type situation, right? Like you can't have Jake in that situation, right? Like no. Look, hold on, the jig is up. If Jake gets work, the jig is up. Let's just go ahead and keep it pushing here. Like, yeah, if Tyson does, the rare chance Tyson gets a KO, we gotta find a new gig. Go ahead. Hey, big fella, get yourself a podcast, Mike. It'll work out for you, Jake.
So I liken this to like some random hooper trying to go play against Michael Jordan in his 60s. He probably gonna cook the dude that's just some random hooper. He's not gonna cook your Anthony Edwards, your Giannis, your KDs, whoever. But this dude, Jake Paul, is a G League fighter at best.
Right.
And Mike Tyson, once he knocks him out, go sit your ass down in Puerto Rico and don't come back. We don't need you. Yeah, I agree with Chris. It doesn't do anything to Mike Tyson's legacy, but it defames what boxing is. I'm not no huge boxing fan. I'm going to watch this junk on Friday just so I can come back on the next podcast and laugh at you and Chris King, though, all day. Like, I'm with JT to the world blow up on this Mike Tyson stuff. Because Mike Tyson, listen, I remember going in and having these family get-togethers and everybody coming to the crib and you split the 99, 95, 39, whatever it is amongst everybody, and you go to pee, you come back. Boy already on the ground and we going through highlights.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. I'll never forget. Mike Tyson fought Peter McNeely, and they had ordered pizza. And they had ordered pizza. Pizza be here in a few minutes. That fight was over in like 45 seconds. Maybe it was 35 seconds. And it was just literally like, I mean, Frank Bruno, you just go down the list. Mike Tyson gave everybody where he was take something, pass it down. And it was like, damn. Like, I mean, Mike Tyson had boys knocked out on their feet. They didn't even know where they was at. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was too young to see Mike Tyson like that, pre-Buster Douglas. But, man, Mike Tyson is that guy. And that is Mike Tyson is an absolute icon. Y'all better put some respect on Mike Tyson's name.
Yeah, man. I think everybody 100%. Respects Mike Tyson. It's just 60 years old. Hey, what they say on the wire? Hey, let's think about the old days. The old days. So let's take it. Let's wrap it here, man. A couple more comments that came in. Go says Mike's my dog. Mike's my dog, but if he gets okay, but if he gets knocked out, KO by Paul, that's a nightmare. Iron Mike getting KO by a YouTuber is crazy. He also says Paul's not ass, dog. He ain't a pro yet, but he not ass. I box and doing what he does ain't easy. He actually got some skills. I think he does have some skills. Like you said, Mike my dog, it was 25 years ago. Colin Racine says if Paul knocks him out, Tyson probably got a few million. He's gonna get a few million no matter what happens.
Jake Paul's gonna get 40 and Mike's gonna get 20. So I mean,
And that's the sad part. Is Mike Tyson's in so much debt. Well, I guess he ain't got no money. He has to take this fight, so to make something happen. So it is what it is, and
20.
hopefully this is the last 20 Mike got to take. Because I really don't want to see him in the ring no more. I really don't.
Man. I just don't know how Mike blew 400. That's what's crazy to me, and that's like Mike Tyson. Did he do a 30 for 30? Say what?
Background check, JT.
Did he do his 30 for 30?
I don't know if Mike Tyson has 30.
I would love to hear Mike Tyson tell a story about. He probably has. I know he has done it because they've asked him about this before and how he blew 400 mil. But like, can you imagine the fun you would have blowing 400 mil, provided you didn't just like buy Bitcoins and they tanked? Like,
I'm sure
Mike
Mike
Tyson
Tyson
in the 90s, you'd have lost your damn mind.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a time, man. I'm sure he had a time. Let's wrap it there, man. Good show again. Appreciate everybody for joining us as always. Again, it was a of course, random Tuesday night in the NBA. The Bucks get the dub, Emirates NBA Cup night one of it, 99-85 over the Toronto Raptors. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us. So we appreciate you joining the Cream City Crossover. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Get out there to Lakeview Boulevard in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Go to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, proud sponsor of the program. Bucks win it tonight. They do get the dub. They improve to 3-8. Again, I think that the record when the Bucks I think you were talking about it just the other night. The Bucks when they got to the finals. No, excuse me. They got the game 7 of the East Conference Finals and were 3-9. We got one tomorrow night against the Detroit Pistons. Hopefully they're gonna start 4-8 instead of 3-9 and get themselves back, man. Got to right the ship, get yourself back in the right situation. But they do get off on a good foot tonight, 99-85. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru, Trey Crosby III,
JT,
Chris King,
Justin.
Tell a friend. My bad. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the Cream City Crossover. We appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wood nickels.